no other reason you don't understand, but it comes at that moment that someone has a special message, or sometimes it's just a special thought, or faith often intervenes. And today I want to tell you the story about some faith that intervened. Our story begins on May the 1st, 1970. It was produced, some of you young folks, it's your grandparents' time. It was the most traumatic time in American history. Students wanted to voice their discontent against the war in Vietnam. That Thursday, several hundred students got together and they were going to protest the Vietnam War. Some of them had that long hair, hippie look that your mom and dad might recall. Some of them had the headbands, the bell-bottom pants, the flowered child. They all wanted to make a statement because they thought they were right. That morning on Thursday, it was cool, and several hundred, and several thousand, and then there was 10,000, and the police arrived, and they threw rocks. And then 25,000 occurred. And then 40,000 by mid-afternoon. And by 5:45 that evening, there were 70,000 students voicing, holding up peace signs, and chanting in unison, "Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go." Young men come out of the crowd and burn their draft cards. And then there was a little man dressed in orange garb. His head was shaved. Most thought he was a monk. And he'd come way out in front of the crowd, and they all still yelled at the administration building, not paying much attention to this little man. And he sat down, crossed his legs. The students still yelled in unison. Then all of a sudden, he pulled a little can out of his garb and poured gasoline over his head. In an instant, he set himself on fire. And that weekend, almost every campus in America rioted. From Berkeley to its peak in a little state called Ohio, on the University of Kent. Saturday, they took the administration building. They broke the windows out. They tore all the records up. The National Guard was called out. Everybody was wondering, what's these crazy kids coming to these days? On Monday morning at 7 a.m., the National Guard got together. They were just 18-year-old kids. They didn't really know how to do anything. They were scared too. They were given their M14s and they put them across their shoulder and they were going to stand and stop these rioting students. They marched to the field. The students threw rocks. They threw tear gas back. They threw more rocks. Then all of a sudden, for no one knows why, to this day, they raised their arms. Shots were fired. 7 students fell. 4 died. And a picture that I will never, ever forget was the young girl on her knees beside her best friend who was shot, crying, "God, what went wrong? Why here? God, why?" On the other side of that world, in a place called Pontoon in Nui Ba Din Peninsula, I was coming back from a mission in Vietnam. I went into my bunker where cots were at. I looked at 7 empty spots that I knew would never be filled. Their silence screamed. But I did what every good soldier does when they come back from battle. You bring down your weapon and you take care of what takes care of you. border to Cambodia. We were going to rescue the POWs that was there. We got so close. So God-bacon close. I felt a Russian tank and my hand burnt on the manifold. But there was no one there. We failed. My buddy Speedy wanted to break the silence. So he turned on the radio and he waited for it to warm up. All we got was that static. And then he went to the dial, and if you don't know this, kids, but we used to have to dial in it, and you go, and finally he found it. I said, Armed Forces Radio Network. This is AFBN. The only news that is news will be the news. Coming to you live from stateside, I mean, first thing out of the broadcaster's mouth. We want to tell you that 4 students today was killed in the riots in Kent State, Ohio. Those crazy kids. And I knew that moment. No one would ever know. You don't know that those guys died. You don't know that we tried to free those POWs. You don't know. I sat there on that bunk and I said, God, someday you're going to know. You're going to know that I didn't tell anybody. And it ate at my soul for 30 years. And then fate intervened again. I was at a personal development seminar in Hawaii. And one of the speakers there was one of those POWs. There was 4,000 in the audience. He got an incredible standing ovation. It was wonderful what he told us about his survival skills. And then he asked all the audience to sit down. So I got one more thing. So I want the veterans, if you've been a veteran of any service, would you please stand? And there was probably maybe 25 out of the entire audience of 4,000. And the audience applauded us. And I was grateful. And then he did something I really was surprised. He said, veterans, I want to come up on stage. I want to thank you. And he brought us all to a stage just like this. And I did my best to hide. I got all the way over to the right side because he started at the left and he shook everybody's hand to thank them for their service. But then he got close to me and I started to hang my head. And when he got to me, I couldn't look him in the eye. I had to look down and he said, soldier, what's wrong? And all I could say, he said, I'm sorry, sir. What are you talking about, soldier? And I had tears running my eyes. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do this. I'm so sorry. And he did something that I was so impressed with. He said, stand tall. And in an instant, I went to attention. I wasn't 60. I was 19. In an instant. Stand tall. Tell me what's going on. Sir, we attempted to get you out of Cambodia, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. We were close. We failed, sir. Then he smiled. So you didn't fail. Sir, we didn't get you out. We got you behind. You didn't fail. See, every